This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Shaun Cole, and welcome to today's edition of the Pitstop, where you, my good friends, my sim racing compatriots, the pit crew, you are the real star of today's show. Thank you for being here, everybody. Happy hump day to everybody. Last hump day of January. We're already into February 2020. Isn't it weird? I remember when I was like 15, how like a week could seem like an eternity all the time. Time went by so slow, funny enough, when I was a child. And now as I'm old and time flies by, and you think when time's going by, it's a theory of relativity. When time's flying by, it's usually because you're having a good time. Time is flying by, and I can't stop it. And yet I think back and I'm like, wow, I wish I could be a kid again. And it's like, but gosh, was I bored out of my mind as a kid? Because it seems like, waiting for certain events and things just maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's actually time or if it's maybe just the patience that you get with age that I didn't have when I was young. Hello, all Daves. That's pretty funny, Rick Hyde. We do a race, and if we did a community race right now, we could have as much as 20-25% of the grid named Dave. Very strange. Very cool. It's not strange. We have a lot of Daves around here. So, what is good? I already took my thumbnail down. You guys see that beautiful image? That's going to be one of our news stories today. That image, and I've been to this exact spot on the track. That image is photorealistic. Martin Dupuis, hey, you're actually here live. Gotta love being sick. Billy Strange in the house. Billy Strange, correct me if I'm wrong, but this trophy, I don't know if you got a chance to see the trophy. This trophy that I've made and I'm going to be giving away monthly at the Simpit races is because of a conversation that you and I had on a Beyond the Sim, talking about the value of small monetary prizes, 10, 20, 30 bucks. Resub, Dave Blair, resubbing to, oh wow, on Prime. Thank you very much, Dave Blair. Very cool. Coming from a Dave. But anyway, that was my way of creating something that I thought had a little more value than just a typical, $10, $20, $30, even $50 prize. But anyway, what is going on in the world of sim news, sim racing? And of course, if you guys have any comments that you think that I have to know about, type in some exclamation marks and then your comment so I'll see it amongst the chat. If you guys have a question for me or the audience, hit some question marks and then your question so that I'll see it. I've been trying to slow the show down. I've been trying to engage and interact with you guys more and more each show, and I want to keep that going. The best thing you can do are those two exclamation marks or question marks. That way I can see it's directed towards me or something that isn't just random conversation amongst yourselves. Thank you, Billy. Thank you very much. So yes, the winner of our next patron race is going to get a customized, this is a prototype version of it. I'll talk about that in a minute. I'll get to that at the end when we talk about Simpit stuff. So let's get into the news. In our description, I actually wrote silly season, and I think I'm using the word incorrect. Isn't silly season in racing that moment when in between last year and this year when drivers are moving all over the place and sponsorships are moving all over the place, and then we start to see releases of paint jobs because that happens after all of that has really been the dust is settled from it. Cranky, I am a 3D printing maniac. Last night, it's so funny. I was really tired last night, and I actually turned everything off in this room, including the printer. And I actually, for the first time since I got the printer, did not have something printing overnight. YouTube doesn't work for you? What's going on at YouTube? It looks good on my stream here. I got a green bar. That usually means good things for me. Therefore, it feels time is faster. Yeah, I don't know what it is, Dave, but I can't keep up. Anyway, part of the silly season is all of these driver and team changes and everything. So, Burton Kligerman eSport announces Valvoline as new primary partner, with both Clampett and Crowder returning for the 2020 NASCAR season. So one of the things I've speculated, I would love to know how the money works, and I can't imagine anyone's going to tell you. It might even be the kind of thing, intervention. It might even, thank you, Mads, thank you very much. What kind of money is there, and how much goes to Burton Kligerman eSport? I understand when you're running a big NASCAR team and you're gonna give away, take sponsorship, and you have a lot of bills to pay. eSport's a little different. You don't have a physical team to have to pay for. There are expenses certainly, but I wonder what kind of money they get out of this. And this is the other example that I've been talking about, the difference between sim racing and all other esport. Valvoline is saying, esport people, sim racing people, they're car people, they're going to be swayed by our marketing at this level, and it's probably a really good bang for the buck for them to make that sponsorship. Anyway, get a look at their paint schemes for the years. This is iRacing news page. We already talked about the BMW. I know we did talk about the BMW, Turner Motorsport. We looked at that whole thing, saw the scan, remember all that. What was my point, though? I guess I'm just reminding you that it's coming in 2020. There you go. What else? More of the silly season. Steve Letarte. Letarte eSport is excited to announce our 2020 eNASCAR World Championship Driver Series. Chris Shearburn will be returning to drive the number 36. And Santiago Tiers. Sorry, Santiago, if I murdered your last name there. Santiago Tiers will join this season to drive the number 4 car. And I'm not sure if these are last year's or this year's paint schemes, but again, more of the driver announcements for the big NASCAR competition. Even Pasico will be back in the booth. That's good news. Valvoline, we already talked about that. And bam, Devin Booth following us. Actually rated us. Devin Booth and the Devin Booth community on Twitch. How you all doing? Party of 15 joining the show. Thank you for that, Devin. Crydell is also following us. Raid! I need to learn these tricks. The problem for me is I'm not actually doing any of my Twitch from here. Twitch is over there. iRacer 1970 asks, have I ever driven a SimCraft simulator? How does it compare to the Cruden? Okay. It's very interesting you compared those two. And it's probably not for the reason that you're thinking or would think if I were to compare the SimCraft to the Cruden. Now, in all fairness, before you compare sims, you have to think about the environment and the conditions that you are testing them in. I am very particular about my motion sim settings. Therefore, my real opinion can only be done in my shop or with extensive amount of testing. In the case of the SimCraft, I drove their big simulator maybe 8 years ago, so it was a very long time ago. And actually, I drove one a little more recently than that, now that I think about it. I'm trying to remember where that other one was. But the SimCraft has a center bearing that is very high, and it swings the sim a little bit like a basket. And if you're very sensitive to motion, I did feel that it felt almost like the motion of a boat, the way it was transitioning across center, compared to a seat mover, which I can go all day about my complaints about a seat mover, but so much left-right motion, but it was very linear this way, or even this way if you were really sensitive. I never felt that. So there was a certain aspect that felt like this swaying motion to the SimCraft when I did it. Now, the way it compares with the Cruden being so gigantic, yes, it had massive amounts of motion, far more than I actually need, but it had a swaying feel. And the same thing that I felt, the way it moved, I'm like, wow, this feels like you're in a V-hull, boat, speedboat of some sort. And it's just kind of doing this kind of stuff. Awesome, Bucho, thank you very much. Great to have you back. You were never gone. You were always right there, buddy. But yeah, in all fairness, I would love to drive the SimCraft again. And when I drove the Cruden, it was at a trade show, of course. And when that's the case, they usually have their settings dialed way too high. Like, that's never the way they would set it up for a Formula One team. So I can't take anything away from a $250,000 Cruden, but I like less is more. Yes, Cranky, I like less is more. I like faster and less movement. And that is how I like it. And that's why even like a next level seat mover can get me closer to what I want than even those two sims you just named. It's why I like the CXC simulator, even though it's a seat mover, which there are things that are odd about a seat mover in all fairness. It's why I love the sim experience as a anyone could have it version of a seat mover. I've driven on, we're getting off topic, but I don't mind. And then D-Box is a whole other motion in its own. With a D-Box, if you're willing to spend the money, it's easy to have a 4-post and have your whole rig moving. That is really awesome. But I'm not sure it's necessarily the best form of movement. Motion is a tough topic. You could still, Izzy, you could still argue that motion, it's arguable whether it's something that you need or not. To be the fastest sim racer on earth, I don't think motion is going to help you get there. If you are looking to create some of the other sensations you need, if you're a real driver who's going to sit in a simulator, it might get you more in sync with the game that much faster. But yeah, I don't know. I turn it very far down. Thank you, Cowl. Thank you, Crydell. Thank you, Kevin Rydell. Oh, Kevin Rydell on both YouTube and Twitch. Thank you. Thank you, buddy. Kevin Rydell, speaking of motion, again, if you have a question or comment, always type in some exclamation marks or question marks, sorry, if you have something for me, but I did happen to see that. You're welcome, iRacer. The GS5 fits in very similarly. It does some things that are really unique and awesome. And it has some things that it could do better or can't do that it's trying to do as well. When I got it, I turned settings very far down. I found when I ran the G seat with a motion system that I could rely on the G seat to do more of the lateral load. I might have my directions. Yes, John, that is true. That is true. But at the same time, motion can be a distraction if you're just looking for perfection. I think that if a driver could somehow get the seat of the pants feeling without actually being subjected to the G's, that they sure would. I'm very eager to try a traction loss without any other motion, actually. So cranky, so for me, running a traction loss with seatbelt tensioners and maybe a G seat combined together. But when I combine the G seat with motion, I could let the motion do a little less left to right, which on a seat mover is the annoying movement that you do need. We'll let the seat give you a little more of that left and right feeling without actually moving you much. However, under braking, there's no denying how effective a seat mover is. And even though, yes, you are getting closer to the steering wheel, if you've minimized that motion, it gives you such a great feeling of being under brakes. And then when the brakes lock up and it releases and you get that slack, both through the motion and the belts, it's arguably one of the best sensations that you can get out of any form of motion, in my opinion. I also feel that I focus on the brake more than any other aspect of sim racing. I'd maybe even argue real life racing. So a high-end brake pedal is important to me, and on motion, that's what I'm going to be most critical of. All right. Can we move on? Did I cover that? Any other questions, comments on that? Oh, Bucho's chiming in with the same thoughts. Yes, it's just amazing. It's amazing. Hey, Cowell, how you doing? I'm glad you came in with the raid. Welcome over from the Devon booth world. Thank you, Devon, for bringing your crowd over to see us here. Yeah, we are. So right now, last minute, I'll give a last plug and then we'll move on. Hello, Simpit Live on Twitch. We are on Twitch, simultaneous to hello, YouTube. We are there at YouTube as well. We do a little pre and post show on Twitch. We also, all these projects and things that I work on, I do all that on Twitch. Really trying to keep the YouTube channel very clean and sanitized and using the Twitch for that down and dirty version of the Simpit. So you definitely want to follow or subscribe or on both. And of course, if you like what we're doing here, give us a thumbs up. If you do not like what we're doing, thumbs down. I have thick skin. Go ahead. But do me a better favor. Send me an email, Shaun, SHAUN, @thesimpit.com, and tell me what we can do better over here. And then lastly, be sure to tell a friend what we're doing. Anyway, let's move on with the show. What else do we have? That's enough of iRacing. Because really, Assetto Corsa is really one of the bigger stars of the show right now. We are much, much in anticipation of their next update, the Intercontinental, I already get it wrong, Intercontinental GT Pack coming soon. With it, Bathurst. And I do want to comment on a PC title, the quality of graphics that we're looking at. When we do our Sim Pizza, which is right here on my list, graphics is going to be one of those categories, and I don't know who's going to win, but I would argue that Competizione is going to be one of the top picks. I think they've stepped it up. That right there looks like a real photo with some filters on it, perhaps, but the quality of graphics that I'm seeing on it is really, really awesome. Yeah, I prefer constructive criticism. I mean, like if you send me an email that just says you suck, you might be right, but I don't know how to fix it if you don't tell me. Anyway, I'm really, really impressed with the photos that I'm seeing of Assetto Corsa Competizione. That's Bathurst. Now, let's go to a track that I've been to. I've slept at Laguna. So I know Laguna day, night, morning, foggy, sunny. I know the conditions of Laguna. I know what it looks like from every corner and spot on this track. This photo right here is pretty awesome. Anyway, again, this is all part of the look at that. That is a beautiful shot of the corkscrew. John Hill, you've been there with me. Is that not what it looks like when you're there? Are those not the types of trees? I'm not saying, okay, so if you really want to be critical, there is one tree right there that is like very distinct and couldn't be missed or forgotten, and it's not there in the same aspect. You don't see it here? Oh, Twitch, yes. Is that something I have to change for Twitch? Do I have to do a double splitter and let Twitch see my right monitor? That only seems fair at this point. It could be done. It's a lot more wiring. Keyboard Lotion says yes. I agree. I think you've been deprived a little too much in the raw version. Okay. Twitch. Split to Pitstop screen. I got to make that a number one. I'm with you. I'm down with that. All right, what else? Yes, good point, John Hill. They updated the runoff curves. Laguna has changed. That was actually almost 2 years ago. No, you know what, Keyboard? I'm really trying to grow both. I've been having... YouTube's changing their business platform. I don't know what the future brings for all streaming platforms. So right now, I'm really happy with our Twitch community. So I want to make, them privy. It might be smaller or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'm going to work on that right away. I got to order some parts and a really long HDMI cord. All right. That's enough. So that's coming. When is the pack coming officially? Do I have a date here? I know we've seen it. I don't have it right now in my mind. I can't remember. My brain's somewhat mush. Anyone remember the date for the Intercontinental GT pack? I need to reach out to those guys. I gotta reach out to ACC. Reach out. Sorry. My notes are just trying to make the show better. Oh, what else? Dirt. Okay, so all sorts going on from Codemasters right now. And I know it feels like we go Codies, but you think about it, Dirt Rally, Grid, F1 2019. So, I mean, they have 3 current sims currently getting updates. And, yeah, we got to talk about them. There's always something. Cal, yes, but they don't. Technically, it's illegal to restream, where you literally take the same stream and does both. So what I've done is gone out of my way to make sure that each stream was somewhat unique, and so that I can never be accused of doing such things. So I have the ultimate workaround, which is having 2 completely different simultaneous streams. But what I could do is I could add, your cameras are different than the YouTube green screen camera. So you guys wouldn't be green screen, but there's no reason that I can't shrink both of the screens that Twitch is looking at right now and make a prominent screen that shows the news. Now, you'd still have an advantage of being at YouTube because it's full screen, it's green screened. But I like the difference because when I go off the air on YouTube, we stay on the air over here. So, all right, moving on with the news, or we're never going to get out of here. I actually have plumbers coming. I can't even be late today. I have to be somewhat on time. Plumbers coming once again. The joys of living in a shitty apartment. We're never going to get this show done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Sorry about that, you guys. Yes, new Dirt Rally 2 Colin McRae pack. So, relive a Rally Legends momentous career this spring with the Colin McRae Flat Out pack coming to Dirt Rally 2.0 on March 24th. Flat out and free to all season owners. All right, so here, let's watch the video again. Let me turn down the volume.
And here comes Colin McRae.
Sorry.
I bet you haven't seen a Metro being driven at this pace for a long time.
Then I have to do more push-ups, Cranky. So, this is coming out. Let's go ahead and pause the video and move to this page. So, yes, so here's what I want. The Flat Out pack is free for owners of any of the following: March 24th, Dirt Rally 2.0 Deluxe or Super Deluxe Edition, or Base Game and Deluxe Content Upgrade Seasons 1 and 2, or Deluxe Content 2.0 Bundle Seasons 3 and 4, or a Year 1 Pass Seasons 1 through 4. So those are all the conditions that will be eligible to get the Colin McRae Flat Out pack coming March 24th as an addition to Dirt Rally 2.0. I saw some exclamation marks. First time I watched YouTube and Twitch simultaneously. Get back there. I already did them. Oh, you want to see them because you would have been able to actually see them from that one. Well, maybe I'll swear again, Rick. Who knows? Who knows? Me too, Dave. Blair, I hope the new Thrustmaster load cell pedals are good as well. I really do. So then there was a blog talking about it coming to Dirt Rally March 24th. talking about Colin McRae 25 years later. Take on 40 challenging scenarios from Colin McRae's career. That's cool. That is super cool. From humble beginnings to glory on the world stage and epic battles beyond, the stories of Colin McRae are legendary, and Dirt Rally 2.0 will celebrate these moments with 40 all-new scenarios. Relive his illustrious career, his early experiences in a Mini Cooper S, Peugeot 205 GTI, Ford Sierra Cosworth RS 500, and all the way up to his championship battles in the blue and gold of Subaru. Anyway, this is a pretty big deal to me. This has been or will be a huge pack. New locations: Perth, Kinross, Scotland. New car, the Subaru Impreza Rally. Yeah, Max occasionally. Max has learned that this is the scary room. So he comes in and, like, if any noise is made, like a bang of any kind, he leaves. And then he's gone, hiding somewhere. He's such a wimpy dog. The Subaru Legacy RS. There you go. So March 24th for all season owners, essentially. Yeah, probably not. Well, I mean, yeah, but Dirt Rally 2.0 gets better from what I've heard. I need to get out and try it again, but they've done things to Dirt Rally, like add multiple game controller support and other things. So I do need to go give it another try. I should reach out to Dirt Rally. Time I start doing my job a little better. Yeah, 40. You mean beyond the career mode type events? You mean like multiplayer events, perhaps? So, all right. Formula One, take a deeper dive into their league improvements, safety car updates, and Xbox keyboard support. So, patch 1.20 is live on all platforms. That was 5 hours ago, PS4, PC, and Xbox. This is for F1 2019. Big patch. And then if we go look at their patch notes, they talk about league improvements and functionality, save session progress, reserves. Anyway, it was safety car. And I read somewhere also about some league. So league improvements have been split into two main features: reserves improvements and the addition of save session progress. Walkthroughs are here. So a little walkthrough on how to save your session and reserves. The new feature ensures leagues can now function more to the player's desires and make sure that there are requirements to proceed without affecting the league for others. Okay, so if you're into that, on Codies, big update to the update. Again, I'm seeing you guys are talking a lot. That's awesome. I totally catch some of it. If it's something you really want me to see, if you have a question, type in some question marks. And then if you have a statement, type in some exclamation marks so I'll see it. Yes, Xbox keyboard, they say. Can you believe it? Who needs it? One of my gripes about Codemasters is if you have a keyboard that does not have function keys. Anyone know how to make a function key happen without a function key on your keyboard? But you need F5 and F6 to navigate to single player mode. Grid. So multi-device support. So this is posted yesterday. So with the update or things they've been talking, we've been busy making Grid the most accessible and customizable title for wheel players, ensuring those new and experienced are catered for. Take a look under the bonnet. We'll do that in a second. Multi-device support, unknown device configuration, which is good. It means if it's not a Windows recognized device, it still might work. And live input reporting, which is great. Oh, shoot. That didn't look very healthy, did it? We're going to not do that. Take a look under the bonnet, and then they have some funky link. I'll have to try that for here. I was trying it on a friend's sim and it didn't work. Grid also talking about Season 2 coming. They've kind of been teasing this. Here's this green machine comes to Grid in Season 2. Do you know which car it is? That looks very Lamborghini to me. Am I wrong? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? I've tried. I need to work on the settings for me to enjoy Grid. I haven't really dialed it in yet, in all fairness. Only played it a couple of times, though. A couple of days remain for you to enter your chance to win a VIP trip for 2, courtesy of Tag Heuer, to the World Tour #1. So this is 2020 Gran Turismo FIAGTC 2020 series. First event being in Sydney, Australia. You can win a VIP trip for 2 to the event. Visit the link below to enter today. So again, just a few days remain. Might as well just go over to Gran Turismo Twitter, and who knows? I mean, the odds on that have got to be better than winning the lottery. Unknown device configuration equals Accuforce? I don't think so. I think it recognized it quite fine. I can't remember. I was using a different wheel when I played Grid. WRC, we talked about their big eSport. Now we finally, I think this is the first I've actually seen of the entire leaderboard. Oh, do I even dare? I don't know if I even want to try. These are actually the drivers' standings. So final standings for the drivers with is amusing. I have to remember where we're watching here. Is amusing. Winning or leading the way, RCLDLCOL Nexel of Racing Clutch in second, and Wed Sammy Joe 5 in third. There you go. What you can see here is that Racing Clutch, the team that's listed in the orange, they are all over this leaderboard. So in addition to that, they also had the teams. So the teams, Racing Clutch, as I mentioned, they had all those guys in the leaderboard. They're leading the points battle over WRC drivers. Look like those guys finished in like 8th and 9th, but had 2 in the top 10. And Virtual Best Racing being the 3rd place team. So quite a dominant effort so far by Racing Clutch. 49 points over 38, with only 18 points being garnished by our 3rd place finisher in that first event of their new eSports season that's going on. I agree with you, but I wonder if John says those names are ridiculous, getting back to gamer tag type names in the professional esport. And I've been giving this thought. Is it ridiculous, or am I getting old? I know some experience works with Grid because I was driving it in motion just the other day, if I'm not mistaken. What else? Race room. Invitation. So I told you guys that the time, I think on Monday was the last day to get your qualifying in. They did get over 500 drivers, and that means over 500 emails have been sent out. So if you did post a time and you're going to be in that race on February 2nd at the Bathurst 333 on Race Room, you should have received an email. So make sure you did, or contact them, or check your email settings for your account and contact them. But 500 plus people are going to handle that or participate in that event. That should be pretty cool. I should have put a time in. I should be in that event. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why I didn't do it. Humble Bundle. Crash. Nope, we're good. Humble Bundle. This is about as cheap as a game can possibly get. Well, it looks like it was only $1.99 to begin with, so it's really not that big of a discount. Bus Driver Simulator 2019 Hungarian Legend. You can get that for 79 cents. I think some people have paid more than that for some app on their phone. Zwift setting their conditions for the Fondo. Fondo being a region, I do believe. Here's the schedule for the racing. This is how serious it's getting. You go to the Zwift Insider. Man, I wish I owned a Zwift. Then again, if I had a Zwift, I'd probably just see how sad a shape I really am in. Get my butt kicked by a bunch of trainer jockeys. Gamertag names an esport make your event look like the XFL, just waiting for someone to show up and race, and he hate me. Yeah, zero bandwidth, and you're just begging for someone to get banned for their name at some point, right? Why even go there? Why bother? The game should just be free. All right, there you go. Whoa, we didn't need to do that. We were trying to get back to Zwift. There we go. Okay, what else? Uh-oh. You know what happened? When I hit that link and it brought up that download, that was not a good moment. Zwift Pit. Okay, this was talking about Google Stadia. Comes under fire. There have been like 0 releases for it in 40 days is what that article. So we wonder about the threat of Google Stadia to the rest of us and gaming in general. Here's another article from Cultured Vultures telling us how they practically forgot that there's even Google Stadia going on. However, so as everybody's getting ready to bash Google Stadia because there's not much going on, this sure looks like this sure feels like a virus. Time for a format on this computer. That might be the rest of my day. That sucks. I got a lot to back up before I go doing that. Yeah, 0. Seriously. I'm gonna have to shut this computer down and format. We're done. Activision. New Google deal could make Stadia buyers happy finally. So Google and Activision are now working. Stadia is online cloud-based gaming where you don't need the computer. You just need an interface to work with playing a game that everything is happening through the computer. And the only reason I mention it is the fear of the future. I don't think we're vulnerable to it anytime soon, but, you think netcode is bad now? Oh, how bad would it be if we were cloud-based gaming? Or maybe the central hub is the key to preventing that. I don't know. I just don't know. What are you guys talking about? I see a bunch of conversation. Shaun Cole. Just giving you a perspective, Sensor Tower is saying this. Nintendo mobile games have reached 1 billion in lifetime player spending. That's kind of crazy. But that's actually chump change. I heard the other day I was watching Pawn Stars, and I heard that World of Warcraft has earned $9 billion on its own. So 1 billion, that's chump change. iRacer, I don't, asked if I experience major lag. For the most part, I don't. So my connection, I pay a fortune. I pay for the most I can get from them. My connection is either rock solid or it pretty much just flatlines for a moment. Don't format, try virus stuff first. Okay. Will Thrustmaster 383 rim mount to a Xperience button box? Oh, like if you literally took the rim off? Well, why wouldn't you just buy a proper rim instead of deconstructing? Sell the 383 rim and buy a regular whatever shape you want and bolt it to your Xperience. It's a 70 millimeter pattern, so that's what I would do. Yeah, so I do have a Ricmotech adapted Thrustmaster wheel, so one of the least expensive ways to get a decent wheel on a sim. I hope I'm on the right topic. I hope I haven't just taken a turn and got it wrong what you guys are talking about. Right here, what I have is a Momo wheel on a Thrustmaster hub with a Ricmotech adapter that's taking it back to a proper quick release pattern. So this is a lot less expensive by probably half as much to a custom built wheel, but it is still Thrustmaster paddle shifter tension. It is a nice upgraded carbon fiber paddle that's quite strong and much larger, and it is the Thrustmaster buttons. So yes, there are ways to do that, but it takes an adapter. You can see that silver plate is the adapter. All right. Oh, then you would need an adapter, and I don't know if it'd be easiest to do that. Yes, that was a 70 millimeter. No, that was the little Thrustmaster pattern. That is great to hear, Cranky, because that's one of my next projects as well, is to 3D print a wheel and see if it can handle the rigors of a direct drive wheel. All right, what else? This is pretty funny. Would you pay? Would you stay? Atari to open a chain of gaming-themed hotels. And they're not just talking like in Vegas. They're talking, the first one being in Phoenix, of all places, Austin, Chicago, Denver, Las Vegas, San Francisco, San Jose, and Seattle. Sorry, no Atari hotel in Los Angeles planned immediately. This is a concept drawing of what the hotel looks kind of cheap. It doesn't look very nice for a drawing. You would think they would have given it a little more bling for their promotional drawing. But we've seen gaming themed. Was it a racing themed hotel that we've seen? I don't mean anything wrong with Phoenix. I just think, isn't that an odd place to start a hotel chain? That's my thought. If you're a Atari type company. Sorry. I am so sorry if I just offended Phoenixans. I didn't mean it that way at all. I just meant when I'm thinking hotels, I am thinking big cities as your primary market or starting point. That's all I meant. And I don't mean Phoenix isn't big. I meant like New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Houston. Yes, Vegas. And Vegas was on the list. Again, the list. Phoenix, Austin, which is also to me an odd starting point. Austin, Chicago, Denver, Las Vegas, San Francisco. I think Denver's no bigger than Phoenix, though, by the way. San Jose, which, why would you need... Now, that is the Silicon Valley, San Francisco and San Jose, but those two cities are a stone's throw from each other. And Seattle, which makes perfect sense as well. Atari hotels will feature common areas following the latest trends in hotel hospitality with a focus on the video game universe and the Atari brand. They will include a state-of-the-art eSports studio, an Atari gaming playground, meeting and event rooms, co-working spaces, restaurants, bars, a bakery, movie theater, and a gym. They are targeted at family or business travelers, providing a luxurious, relaxed, one-of-a-kind experience. You know what? I think that we should have the first Simpit party at Atari Phoenix. What do you guys think? Does that make it up to my Phoenix fans? Large retro. Good point, Billy Strange. You think like a place like Austin. Why is Portland not on the list? Wouldn't that be awesome, Theodore, if you had Pac-Man chasing you around like they're little dots and you walk down the hallway and they disappeared and it's all waka, waka, waka. I think this is where we should have our first sim racing party or North American convention, sim racing convention. All right, what else? G2 eSport and Philips Momentum partner for Rocket League and sim racing. So Philips Momentum being their monitor lineup, right? Which competes in games like iRacing in partnership with Red Bull eSports. So G2 eSport sim racing, which competes in games including iRacing in partnership with Red Bull eSport, will also receive Philips Momentum monitors. That's where the money's going. That is where all the money. Nashville. Nashville would be a great convention. I've never been to Nashville. Atari Vegas. Vegas, I think, is expensive to just be in Vegas, though. That's my problem with Vegas. I got to keep it cheap for me. Next Gen Auto, talking about this. Alonso says, and I'm only covering this because it's Alonso. All right. Alonso says he will win in 2020 F1 return. I have not finished with F1, he says. I don't know if he has something lined up or if this is just him taunting the world, telling them Nashville was and is racing town. Yes, it is. Anyway, go get him, Alonso. Go get him. And don't forget about us sim racers when you're there. This isn't really sim racing related, and I looked through the article trying to find out if they were avid sim racers. I should have done a look on iRacing to see, but congratulations to 14-year-old driver Crawford, who's been added to Red Bull's F1 Junior scheme. So Jack Crawford is his name, and he is now part of the Formula One Junior program, as also revealed where its other proteges will race in 2020. So Crawford finished 7th in the USF 2000 championship last year and received Red Bull backing for a move to Europe and will join Van Amersfoort Racing in German and Italian F4 for 2020. Congratulations to him. Anyway, also Japanese driver, I can't even say it, Tsunoda, a race winner in the Toyota Racing Series this year, is also Honda Junior, and Vips is close to achieving a super license, which would make the highly rated Estonian eligible for an F1 seat. So anyway, and I wonder, so when I see 14, immediately what I think, I'm like, this kid grew up on gaming. We talked about Lando Norris and how he really embraces and social media is part of his life. And it's like, yes, and he's not even 14. Think about a 14-year-old. It's like, that kid is probably playing Fortnite at night. Bucho's making a comeback. Yeah, it's a very it's like what you landed at Indy Ride. Man, we got hosed. This article was GT Sport Update 1.55. It arrives addressing the penalty system, gripes and concerns that the community has had, and a few other things. We're going to shut that down. I think we're down to eye candy. So here's an article at drivingitalia.net. Sim racing peripherals. Let's clarify and dispel myths. Look at this badass rig. This has got everything. It's got a 4-post. I don't even want to call it D-box. It's not a D-box. It's a 4-post motion. It's got a profile chassis, and they even did the really cool little inserts that go in the channels to make it look cool. It's got an Accuforce wheel. It's got belts, not sure about tensioners. It's got a very nice looking handbrake. Very nice looking sequential. This is a dreamy rig right here. And painted down the middle. To go fast, you need the most beautiful and expensive stuff. It'd be nice also because with the stuff, I would be one of the strongest drivers, but unfortunately it is not so. It's so true. You don't need this. You do not need this. We talked about motion earlier. You do not need this, but I would say this is a 10 plus rig. I mean, when I say 10 plus, it's hard to build a rig much nicer. That's pretty well done. My hat's off to sim racing peripherals. Let's clarify. Oh, this is just a rig. They're just talking about the need in general for massive equipment. I tell you what, you spend all that money and you're still going to get beat by some 14-year-old on a G29. Nice wind sim. See his wind sim? I'm going to have to get this going. I just question whether the 40 millimeter fan moves enough air. I'm looking for a bigger alternative. I want more wind than I think a 40 mil fan can provide. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Oh, yeah, I just saw it, John. Just saw it. Yep. What else? What else? Uh-oh. Oh, I really want this one. So Mitchie Hoyer, who's part of our community. Oh, my system is running like shit. What did we click on? Yeah, it's amazing my stream's going well. So Mitchie Hoyer is part of our community. Oh, speaking of nice rigs. And he just put out a video that for a lot of people, one of the most common questions that I get asked is field of view. And so Mitchie Hoyer actually did a video. You'll find this at Mitchie Hoyer Sim Racing on YouTube. How to deal with field of view, FOV explained in detail for sim racing. Like I said, it is one of my most common emails that I get. So I'm assuming some of you are not 100% sure what to do. Anyway, if you want to hear it from Mitchie Hoyer, we'll have this on our channel as well, probably by tomorrow. Oh, did I zero? Oh, no. No. Did I? I was provoked. Does that count? $120 fans work well? Yes, you did, John Hill. Yes, you did. All right. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, Lord. Okay, good to know, Rockjaw. What kind of fan was that? I missed that. What fan is that? Send me a lead. iRacer, that's good to know. I don't have it up, though. And with what's going on, I'm not going to do a lot of searching. We talked about SimCraft, though. We already talked about that, in fact, didn't we? Check this out. This is just the epitome of DIY. Look at this thing here, though. Andre Pointner built his own 3-axis flight simulator. That thing is crazy. It can rotate 360 degrees plus a few other clever tricks. Rick, I thought about that. I thought about that for you. Is this going all the way over? Relaxed dogfight. No, we want aggressive dogfight. Oh! Oh! I hope I don't need this for sim racing. Jeez. Oh, wow. Oh, Andreas, if I swear on YouTube, I owe 10 push-ups. We try to keep it clean. Anyway, I thought this was worth seeing. John Hill did send this in. Very cool. That's crazy. I know, yeah, it's so true. Can you imagine doing that at the speed of a car crash? And I wonder what... Oh, come on. Okay, cool. I wonder what happens when you crash. I really... Mr. Thawman, yes, she would. Yes, she would. She'd also like to see me paying a penalty for swearing, because that was not high on her list of things a guy could do. What if it breaks? Then you undo your belts and you fall on your head. He was wearing a helmet. I don't know if you noticed that, but he was wearing VR, but he had a helmet. Turtle it. You're running the trucks and you're just sitting there on your roof waiting for somebody to knock you over. And then it goes tumbling around again. That would be awesome. That would be epic. Okay, what else? So, why did I do this? Maderza just found this sub. Looking through all yours has made me miss mine. Mothballed because of a house fire in 2018 he's still recovering from. Anyway, can we see his rig? There's his minimalistic rig, apparently, due to a house fire. All right. Don't panic. Try again. Something went wrong. Don't panic. There we go. Check this rig out. This one posted by Boom RS7. And that's the Assetto Corsa paint scheme, I call it, for the Rseat. I think they call it that, too. Looks like Husinkweld pedals, my eyes don't deceive me, and a... Okay, so that wheel rim looks like an OSR. OSW. No, OSR. Open Sim Rig is the name of the company, OSR. If I'm not mistaken, that's one of their rims, I think. Not sure who. Nice rim. Oh, there we go. Optical GT3. Is that what that says? Nope. And there are the pedals. Anyway, great looking rig. That is awesome. S1 chassis. I love the S1 chassis. And then, don't panic, don't panic. Oh, maybe we do need to panic on this one. It won't even let me refresh. Bollocks. I don't know what that word really means. Do I have to I don't have to do push-ups for that word, do I? All right, we're not going to get it. Okay, contest time. So we're really to the end of the show, and that's good because I do have plumbers coming in a half an hour. This is the Simpit LED light strip. All those who watched me go through all the trouble of making these, I perfected my skills. I learned how to 3D print. I bought the printer to build this nice housing case for it. I'm giving this away. One lucky person out there is going to win this LED light strip. You can see it right there, all lit up on top of my computer. There it is with its little Arduino board and a little plug for the USB cable. And this can be, any one of you can win this. The way to win it is to go to Gleam. Oh, I didn't put the link. I'm going to put the link right here. And I'm also going to come over here and add it to the show. Oh, it is. It's in the link. It's in the description of the show below right there. You can go to Gleam. Follow us on Twitch. Just follow these links, and you can get up to 4 entries to win. Contest ends in 9 days, and next Monday, I will declare the winner. I will also cover the cost of SimHub, which is the software that operates it. I will talk you through building a profile if you need, or you can follow my video and see how to do it. But yeah, one lucky viewer out there will win this, and that's something we're probably going to do more of in the future. Like I said, I'm going to do a win sim. We might be giving one of those away as well. And then I just want to show you guys this. I worked on it over the last few days. You'd seen the original prototype version, and this is the Simpit trophy that is going to be awarded to the winner of the next Simpit patron-only race. So I don't often plug our patron program, but today I will, because we're going to be doing more things, more giveaways, more races, more interaction, and more prizes like this. So there are going to be perks for it. So definitely check us out at Patron, Simpit at Patron. In the future, I'll probably make 2 of these and give one to the patron group and give one to the general public. But yes, whoever wins the next patron race is going to get a customized Simpit trophy for the event. And in full disclosure, this is printed on my 3D printer. It took me about a full day of print time and work to put it together. So it does have value to me. It took a lot, meaning that it means a lot for those people who participate in the race. And yeah, absolutely. You can check that out. Be a part of that community. We are going to do 2 races in February. Yes, I did, Cranky. I printed that. And it's been trial and error. So, like this faceplate here, it's hard to read the bottom, the date. Can you read it? I don't think so. This was Jesse Conroy helped me come up with this idea. So I made the first one is actually a prototype, and I put his name on it. I did make a second plate, and I think the date on that one is a lot more legible down there on the bottom. So I'm working on some of the font, some of the graphics, some of the things to get it all perfect. But yeah, that's something that I'm going to be very proud to give the winner of the next race. And we'll be doing one of those for each and every Simpit patron race that are going to be kicking off for 2020, and do one each and every month, starting with 2 in February to make up for missing January. Thank you, Andreas. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So that's something else you could win here at the Simpit. I also give away a T-shirt, a Simpit T-shirt during the patron race to any one of our members as well. So definitely check that out. And that's the end of my plug. That's the end of my self-promotion. Hope you enjoyed today's show. Thank you for being part of our Hump Day edition. Happy Wednesday. Rick, if I could find the right drawing, yes, those are just a lot harder to find. Rick asked if I can show the elevation. So, for example, I do have a Laguna map that has elevations, and this would be very, very cool if I could add it to the track. Sorry to walk away on the show once again. But this is Laguna Seca. It's hard to see. It's small. But you can see it looks kind of like a roller coaster because it's got the elevation. That would be super duper slick. But not sure I can always find those. So, but it could in theory. In theory, it definitely could. You make trophies able to hold spare rims. Serve 2 purposes. That'd have to be a pretty heavy trophy to hold like that rim there. Depending on the way it was shaped. Anyway, thank you for being part of the Hump Day show. Thank you for being part of the pit crew and making it so much fun. Like I said, we've been slowing it down, trying to take a little more time, engage with you guys a little bit more, and make the show that much cooler. So thank you very much for being here. I want to thank the Devon Booth community for rating our channel and being in on this edition of the Pit Stop. And we will be back on Friday with another edition of the Pit Stop. I'm trying to think what else is going on. I know we've got the Sunday F3 race. We're going to have to find some other driving. I have those bezels. I was thinking of putting a camera and just doing some racing today at some point, letting you guys see how they actually work. I'm on the fence as to whether I like them or not. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. Get out there, do some sim racing. This is the Simpit. I'm Shaun Cole, and I'll see you on the track.